for a while, and it's not offered anymore. But I like that service. I think it's pretty neat.
I think it adds a little more to the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Golf Monger Show is...
And your last name, Roy, is pronounced Shindell?
Shindell, yes.
Shindell, good. Thank you.
I've been called worse.
With a name like Shan, me too. All right.
Have a great day and keep it in short grass.
Yes, sir. Okay. He has to keep me straight, Roy.
All right. Who's that, Steve? Is he your producer?
Jeff, yeah. He's my producer.
Oh, Jeff.
Live from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, TGD Radio presents Amateur Golf Talk Live with your host, Shan Coughlin.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Amateur Golf Talk Live. I'm your host, Shan Coughlin, here with a very special guest, Mr. Roy Shindell from Arnold Palmer's Bayhill Club and Lodge. He is the sales and marketing director there. Roy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Shan.
Oh, you're welcome. So we were talking before we went on live that, you know, we probably have some of the best jobs in the industry, right? I get to sit around and talk to very interesting people who work at great places like yourself. I mean, how nice is it to wake up every morning and to go to Bayhill of all places?
It's an absolute privilege. I've been coming here for almost a decade, and not just the brick and mortar, but the privilege of working for Mr. Palmer is it's one of a kind opportunity, and it's something I very much appreciate.
And I guess I did not realize that he was so hands-on, if you will, there. But you were saying that he lives there, he works there, he's very much a presence. Tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Yep. Well, he does. He lives on property, and Bayhill is his home and has been his home. Just to give you a little background, Bayhill was built in 1960. In 1965, he was asked to play an exhibition round of golf here against Jack Nicklaus and a couple other guys that were prominent back in the day. And he had a very good day of golf. He won by several strokes. He had one of those euphoric days. Loved Bayhill at the time. You know, there were two paved roads and orange groves as far as the eye could see, and it kind of emulated that rural feel of his hometown in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And he kind of put in his mind and set out to buy the place, and he owned it by 1970. So it's been his home ever since then.
Wow. I tell you, it must have been a heck of a round if he ended up wanting to buy the place. But it does make a lot of sense. What a beautiful, beautiful facility there. And we're going to get a little bit more into that. But I want to talk about some of the unique packages you have put together to really invite golfers to come and experience Bayhill. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but this is different, and I think something that golfers everywhere would truly get a kick out of, because you are right near or right on the Butler chain of lakes there in Orlando, Florida, which I know or have recently learned to be some of the best bass fishing lakes in the state of Florida, if not the country. So tell us a little bit about how you have put that, mixed that together with golf to make a phenomenal invitation to everyone to come and see you.
Well, it's kind of funny. We have been here so long, and Bayhill is synonymous for outstanding golf. And we do have a marina, and we are on the Butler chain of lakes, and it's not just bass. We have speckled perch, bluegill, catfish, and a couple other critters out there swimming around, including alligators.
Oh, goodness, okay.
And a lot of other interesting wildlife. Even we have bald eagles, we have osprey, blue herons. So it's really quite a beautiful setting. And it's been an underutilized resource. We've had people recently who've come down to golf asking, can they bring their boat down and go fishing, because they knew what we had here.
Okay.
And after a few opportunities like that came up, it sort of sort of propelled us into thinking, hey, there's a resource here that would probably go well matched with golf, and that there would probably be lots of people who would appreciate being able to come down and do more than just golf and experience that as well. So that's kind of how it came about.
Absolutely. So now you've actually put together, a package, if you will, where folks can stay at the lodge, because of course you can't play Bayhill unless you're staying at the lodge or a member. And so they stay at the lodge and they can do both golf and enjoy the fishing in the lakes there. Tell us about how that works.
Yep. And you hit on a very interesting point that makes Bayhill very unique. Bayhill is first and foremost a private country club. And if you watch the Arnold Palmer Invitational Tournament, most people are well aware of that fact. Mm-hmm. But we do have a 70-room lodge, and in order to utilize the facilities, you have to be a member. The gateway in is you can certainly buy a membership and become a member of the club, or you can stay in the lodge guest rooms. If you're in the lodge as a guest for the day or days you're here, you have what we call member privileges. So you can book a tea time. You can go to the restaurants. We have 3 restaurants. We have 3 bars. We have an aquatic center, a fitness center. We have tennis academy. We have a full-service spa. We have a salon. So there's definitely more here than just golf, even for non-golfers. Just straight out people who love to fish. This is a great place to come. It's a very different type of feel. It's a high-touch environment, just kind of like Mr. Palmer's reputation would lead you to believe that you're coming to stay at his house. It's a very personal thing when you come here, and you can feel that from the time you walk in the front door and walk around the property. You'll be greeted by people. I said I'm here 10 years. Mr. Palmer, according to him, as I was bragging to him about that milestone, he kind of rolled his eyes and teased me like I'm still a newcomer.
Yeah.
Because you have Mary Ann in the reservation department who's been here 42 years. You have the bellman who just celebrated 23 years. You have housekeepers here 37, 24, 20. I mean, they're all over the place. So this is the kind of place where people care, and that trickles down to outstanding customer service and just a different kind of feel and experience for guests that stay here.
Okay, so I'm feeling that, this might be a good anniversary present for my husband and I to enjoy. So if we wanted to come down, we don't have a boat or wouldn't be able to bring our boat, but you have facilities there that allow for us to still go fishing if we'd like to do that.
Absolutely. We've teamed up with a local captain, Captain Paul, and we have really found a treasure in him. He's the second generation fisherman in his family. He's been fishing these waters for 50 years, so he knows where they're hiding.
Wow.
His average catch per outing is up 7 fish, 10 fish. He's had as many as 30 fish in a given day.
Wow, what great stories there. Such tradition.
Yeah, and he does. He also has stories. Plenty of those fishing stories, I guess, we all have. But he can provide, one boat where he'll take folks out, or, here at Bayhill, too, we have a meeting space, up to 9,000 square feet of meeting space.
Wow, okay.
So we can take corporate groups, sales meetings, board meetings, all different kinds of things, incentive trips, great incentive trip, where usually they're going to just golf. Well, now they can also incorporate a bass fishing tournament if they'd like.
If the competition, if the competition wasn't great enough on the golf course, right? You can throw something. I love it.
That's right. And it's a walk-on, walk-off service. 2 to 3 people a boat. I can line up 10, 15, 20 boats if a client would like to do that. And we make it real simple, half-day, full-day excursions. But you're also welcome if you do have your own boat. You want to come down and tow it along. We also have provisions for that.
That just sounds like so much fun. And, again, just something slightly different, just a little bit different experience to offer and to really be an invitation to folks to come down and to experience, like you said, Arnold Palmer's home. What better? I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about the facility. You mentioned there had been quite a significant renovation a couple years back.
Yep. Well, again, the facility was created in 1960, so it does have history. It has been here for a good long time, but it is always kept up to date. We have renovated the restaurants recently. In fact, the bay window is undergoing an expansion right now outside. We're adding a fire pit, a nice outdoor seating area right by the putting green. We spent quite a bit of money renovating the golf course a few years ago, making it an Arnold Palmer signature course. We renovated the lodge rooms, all 70 of them, down to the rafters over a 2-year span. So everything is new. You have the keyless entry. All modern technology has been incorporated, but it still has that homey, down-to-earth feel, which is what Mr. Palmer's known for. He's that, blue-collar guy made good, and I think that's why everybody can relate to him from all walks of life. And he's never forgotten where he comes from, and that really kind of was the theme of how we maintain this property. It's kind of to its original specs, its original roots, kind of like Mr. Palmer.
And you like we were saying, he lives there, he works there, he plays golf there. How often does he get to go out and play?
every time we don't pile him up with paperwork.
Okay. So I mean, how neat would it be though to be there, like you said, staying at the lodge on vacation, and you head out to the driving range and look over, and it's like, oh, there he is, Mr. Palmer himself.
He's out there quite a bit. He gets out there every day if he can.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay.
But it could also be that you head down to breakfast and you'll sit, shoulder to shoulder with him, at the table next to him. He's been known, if he's coming by himself and there's, you're sitting there having breakfast for himself, I've seen him ask that person, hey, is this seat taken, and sit down and have breakfast with him. So he's very approachable. He's very, very nice from that standpoint. Even out on the driving range or putting green, people should feel very, very comfortable walking up to him and saying hello. And he loves to hear from the people who stay here at Bayhill and enjoy his facility. He loves to hear about that.
Well, a 70-room lodge is certainly not small, and I don't mean to insinuate that, but it does also sound like he has built it to be very intimate and very cozy. I've seen some pictures online, and even though it's been completely renovated, it still keeps that historic charm. Like you said, he's wanted it to feel like his home, and it certainly appears that has been successfully done. Just I just keep going back to what an awesome experience you guys are offering down there for golfers, and now fishermen and women who might, like you said, want to do something a little different. I'm eyeing the spa, though. I have to say, I might put the fishing pole down to get that hot stone massage.
And we have a package for that, too.
I bet you do.
we have a package that's called the Bucket List Package.
Oh.
And it includes overnight stay, breakfast, and a round of golf, or a spa treatment.
Okay.
So if a couple does come where one's a diehard golfer and the other one isn't, it shouldn't preclude them from coming to Bayhill, because the service is the same. Outstanding service from start to end. And one can go off and golf, and one can head off to the spa. They can both enjoy their day and then come back and enjoy an outstanding meal.
Well, I tell you, I know I love to golf. My husband and I met on the golf course, but I do know what the numbers say, and there's certainly more men out there golfing than women. So this would definitely be an opportunity where they can have their cake and eat it too, so to speak. They each get to do what they love to do. So I like that. Well, gosh, our time has run out, Roy, but I do appreciate you sharing all of this great information with us. I tell you, for everyone listening, definitely go to the website, www.bayhill.com, and get all of the information for your opportunity to be a member at Arnold Palmer's Bayhill Club and Lodge, be it for a day or a week. It sounds like they have just a tremendous opportunity for you to have a great time relaxing and doing all the things that you love to do. Roy, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. This edition of Amateur Golf Talk Live has been produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think it went well. We got all the information out, and the fact that he is still around and that often, I don't know why. I had no reason not to think that, I guess, but I just figured he wouldn't be.
Yeah.
He was just kind of done with that. But
he He is. No, he loves it. He loves it. And he'll stop and talk to anybody. In fact, I had a group in the, it was a corporate group, and they were in the meeting rooms, and they saw him out there, like, is that Mr. Palmer out on the driving range? I'm like, yeah. And they just all been given shirts and hats and everything from the host. And I was like, why don't you take the hat out and have him sign it? And they're like, oh, we can't go out there and bother him. And finally, one guy mustered it up to go out, and he did. And the rest of them looked like through the window, waiting for him, lamb going for the slaughter. And went up to Mr. Palmer, and he has a Sharpie in his pocket at all times. And
That's
Mr.
awesome.
Palmer stopped what he was doing, shook his hand, signed his hat, and as soon as they saw it was a friendly environment, they all
went
took off. And about 20 guys mobbed Mr. Palmer, and he signed every single one of their hats, talked to every single one of them, and that's just the way he rolls.
Well, it sounds like just a great opportunity for folks. And I tell you, we've got to got to remind everybody how much fun this game can be, how relaxing it can be, and get them back to why they started playing in the beginning.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Cool.
Man, I don't feel like that one was as boring as some of the other ones I've
No, it's very good.